everyone, it's Lana and welcome to today's video. So for today's build, I'm doing an ice cream shop. I'm really excited about this build and I think it turned out really cute. Two things though, this video is a lot longer than my other ones have been. This is just a bigger build, so hopefully you'll stick around for it. If you don't, that's okay. I have an Instagram where I post screenshots if you're interested in that. It's midnight.simmer, and this is on the gallery, and I think that's all that I need to say for that. And the second thing is I do have a fan on in the background. It's warm where I'm at, and I just didn't feel like turning it off, so hopefully it doesn't bother you too much if you do hear it. And once I get this all like edited and fixed, hopefully you won't hear it at all. So yeah. Also, I just realized that I didn't say my origin ID. It's MidnightSims, so you can look for this build on that. Anyway, on into the shape of the build. It came together really quickly. I feel like I say that with every build, but sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. This one just kind of came together pretty easy. I just have like two bump outs on the side, and I was just trying to mimic like the shape of the other two buildings that it's in between, because this is in Willow Creek and this is where like that gym is. But I was like, this is a cute lot, but I want to put an ice cream shop here, and this gym is annoying, so I got rid of it and put this here, and I just think it looks really pretty amongst the other two buildings. You can see though that I placed those like trees from Debug, but it just felt too much, and every time I tried to raise or lower the building, it moved with it, like it didn't stay on the ground, so I just got rid of that. And then those ice cream cones are also from Debug, but they stay in this build because I could not delete them. At some point I was like, you know what, maybe I don't necessarily want these like ice cream statues like here in the build, but they were like, no, we're in this build forever, and I just like couldn't delete them. So they move around a lot, if you notice that. It's just literally because I couldn't figure out where to put them, but they find their home, you know, at some point. And that awning that I just did took me a long time to like raise the flowers and like get it right and everything, but I think it turned out really pretty. It might be a little bit overkill, but I think it turned out really pretty, and like the way that it looked. And I don't know, this build is very very pastel. There's a like heavy amount of pink and mint in this apartment. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself in this build. And with that being said, there is an apartment on top, which is why the video is a lot longer than it usually is because at first I wasn't going to put an apartment on the top of the building, but then I was like, you know what, the space is there, and the story I kind of came up with was maybe that the owner's mom had stepped down or retired or passed away or something, and so that sim has now taken over running the ice cream shop and just converted the top into an apartment. There's not really a specific sim I have in mind for this, but I do imagine a female sim. However, you can obviously put in whatever sim you want, or, you know, non-gender based sim, or, you know, that kind of thing. So, but in my storyline that I was going with, I did imagine a female sim. But yeah. You can see I'm just doing the landscaping though. Oh, I add those cute awnings also. It, again, a little overkill probably, but I like them. They're pink and it matched the whole theme and vibe of this place. Just getting a little seating area out here and some more. I really like the way the landscaping came out. It probably isn't super realistic. Maybe if like this was at the beach or something, but the lot isn't big, but because there was just some empty space, I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this really pretty landscaping. And at one point I did try to put those like those more modern looking planters on the side that you saw me put in, and it just looked, oh, it looked awful. And so I was just like, we're gonna go back to the original. And here is where I decided to add in the apartment. Again, like I said, I originally wasn't going to, and then as you can see up top, I put the windows up there, and once I like stopped and looked at it, I was like, this is literally perfect for an apartment. Like, this is so perfect. So get rid of the shrubs in the back and add the terrain paint all the way around so that your sim will walk that way. When I play tested it, they walked that way to get up to the apartment, which is what I had imagined. And then just getting a mic and a guitar and some amps out here because I was thinking maybe some like live music would be really pretty, like at night or something. But as you can see, I just added those signs and like a little special sign and like the ice cream shop sign I just thought were really cute. And I'm just doing this like wall flower art. I don't really know, but I think it's pretty. And I do the same thing in the apartment with the yellow swatch, but I think that those are fake, whereas like these are probably real. And then I get these really, really pretty starlights from movie hangout stuff is I think where they're from. They come in a variety of swatches, but I like the white the best. And then added some bikes because that just felt very, very necessary and very, I don't know, cute. And like looking at it at night was really nice because it just made me think of like before everything that's going on currently in the world, like going to the ice cream shop on a summer night with your friends or like your family or something. And like that's just kind of like the overall feel that I wanted this place to have. It's just somewhere fun for your Sims to come and hang out. So now we're on into the interior, and I only get 2 ice cream machines in here because when I was like finished and everything, I was like, why is there still a red triangle up in the corner? And it was because I didn't add a espresso grinder or something. I don't know, because I do have this lot set to a cafe. So you could set it to whatever you would like, but I thought maybe like the cafe was the best option since there's obviously not a ice cream shop option. Just getting some clutter on the counters though, and those jars from Paranormal Stuff Pack are literally perfect for this build. I don't think that like ghosts will pop up on this lot because it's not set to a haunted lot, but they are just so perfect for this because like the way that they look and like the colors that they come in are just so perfect. I don't know if they'll spoil either. I try to get things that won't spoil, but I'm not super familiar with that in the debug menu. Like those to-go cups should be empty, however I'm not totally sure. So I usually just try to get things off the gallery if I think that they're going to spoil, but I think we should be okay with nothing spoiling. Just more clutter. Yeah, I added a lot of clutter to these shelves because I wanted it to feel super realistic and like, you know, when you go in an ice cream shop, they've got all these things behind the counters and stuff. It would have been cool if I could have made like an ice cream bar, and I'm sure that there's a way I could have. I just didn't think about it. I thought this was the nicer looking way. I got that shelf from, I think Bowling Stuff is where it's from, that blue one. And then that white one that I just added, the like baker's rack, is from Get to Work. And it does pop out on the exterior of the build, but I didn't notice it until later. So hopefully you won't notice it. And I do cover it with a tree. So if it does bother you though, you can always like fix it and delete it or do whatever you want with it. I don't care. I added this rope fence to the front, and actually the Sims, when I was playtesting it, the Sims actually did like walk through it and everything. So because, you know, that's really realistic to any ice cream shop I've ever been in. You know, I know all places are different, but anyone that I've ever been in, they usually have those kind of lines or whatever to like form the line. Got those pictures from the gallery, and here I'm adding this like Freezer Bunny like prop. I think it's from Get Famous, and I came up with the idea that this place is called Freezer Bunnies Ice Cream Shop, and the like those pictures that I added, the Discovery University one, the base game one, I think is the picture of like the mom and or like, you know, the previous owner of this place, and then the other one from Discovery University could be like when it first opened. Like I thought that was a cool idea. And then here on this bowling stuff shelf, I'd get some towels, but I was thinking that they could be like t-shirts because sometimes ice cream shops will have like merchandise that you can buy, like shirts with their logos or like just like little random things that you can buy from them. And so that's what I kind of thought that this could be. But then I just get these little turtles from Nifty Knitting, which I thought were so cute. I do add those little penguins, but I was thinking maybe those could be a little more expensive. I do think that the Sim who lives here does make those items herself. So in that far right room, I make an office, but we are adding the floor. I love these floors. They're base game. I never use them. They're like, I think they're called like, oh, I want to say like Parquet or something like that. I'm really not sure if that's how you pronounce them, but they just felt like they fit in this apartment because it was definitely like, it's definitely supposed to be like an older building. And so I was like, yeah, these are like the original floors that came with this apartment, and she's just had them like polished or cleaned or just kept really good care of them. And so I don't know, I'm gushing about these floors because I think they're so pretty. I low-key think that like I would love to live in a place that had floors like that. They might be kind of annoying or like hard to look at. I don't know, but in this build, they fit perfectly and I don't ever use them. I'm talking over the kitchen though, and it's just a pretty simple kitchen. I don't add too much. I say that as I'm like pulling out a bunch of clutter, but I think I keep it pretty nice and clean. I also just felt like for some reason this kitchen was a lot different than other kitchens I've done. I think it might be the shape of it. I never really do like, I don't know if this is considered an L-shaped kitchen, but like where the sink is, it does wrap around the wall to the fridge. I guess that's considered L-shape. I don't really know. I don't know designing terms and that kind of thing, but I don't know, I just really like this kitchen. I think it's also just because it's like light and bright, and I had this pink fridge in here because I was thinking, if you've ever heard of, like, I think it's called Smeg, I think that's the brand, where they have like these like really retro looking appliances and like toasters and fridge, but I think they're like stupid expensive though. I don't know, I've never really looked them up, but I think they're pretty. That's kind of what I was thinking that fridge could be. That is from the Country Kitchen Kit. Oh, too many cuss sounds. And so is the brick on the exterior and in this laundry room that I add. And I also added it behind the stove and cabinets and like that area. I just thought it was really pretty having the exterior brick on the interior. I love that kind of style of like exposed brick somewhere in an apartment. Just moving on into the entryway, I guess you would call this. Yeah, it's an entryway. I haven't used this like side table from Paranormal Stuff Pack yet. At least I don't think I have. At least, yeah, I don't think I've used it in any of the builds that I've posted. I'm really trying to think. I might have. I don't know. I don't remember. But this is the first time I've used it. Also, those My First Pet Stuff rugs, I had no clue came in these like basic square swatches, and it took me forever to figure out what kind of like rug I wanted to put in this entryway, because it is kind of, it's pretty wide, but also like it's pretty short too. And so I didn't necessarily want like a runner rug, because then it like extended into the like dining area. So yeah, it was like perfect for this spot. And then here is the dining room area, and I added that mid-century modern table, and then here I'm adding it back. I just think it looked better. And this is where, so I add like a lot of mid-century modern pieces, but this apartment isn't necessarily mid-century modern. How many times can I say that? Ugh. But there are definitely elements of that style in this build, like that clock and everything. I do switch that clock out, but even then, the clock that I do use, I think, is still pretty mid-century modern. I don't know. I like that style, but like I'm not super familiar with it. But I like the chairs that I use. They are also from Paranormal Stuff Pack. Honestly, great pack. Get that pack. If you don't have it, get it. It's a really good pack just for like the build items alone. And I think the gameplay is pretty cool. I did play it a little bit when it came out. But I just kind of talked over the dining room area. Those beaded curtains that I added just then in gold, I do add here in the living room, but I cut it out because I didn't add it till like near the end of the build, and like I zipped so fast to that area that it was just like, oh my gosh. So I cut that out. So if you download this, you'll notice that I added those there too. And just getting some furniture and stuff here in the living room. That poof is really cute. I don't use it very often. It's also for movie hangout stuff. I used that pack quite a bit. That and Bowling Night. Yeah, that and Bowling Night are like two packs I don't typically use, or that I don't like think about using really that often. And but like this build had like the perfect items for this apartment and like for the ice cream shop and everything. There were definitely some good items that I used. And just getting some clutter here on the coffee table, a little tissue box, some magazines. We definitely need more clutter, like the magazines like type of clutter. Yeah, we like, I really wish we had like keys and phones as clutter. Like I'm okay if you can't necessarily use them, but like I don't know, because when I'm doing like nightstands or like entry tables or something, I always put a bowl there, because like I just want to put keys. Or even even if we had like a wall hanging clutter item that had keys on it, like how perfect would that be? Because like in real life, I have like a like hook on the wall where I keep my keys and like my mask and stuff like that. So like I just feel like that's very realistic. But anyway, on to the bedroom. And see, I use this like really pretty soft like coral salmon color. I really don't know, because it's not necessarily pink. I guess it's more of a peach. It's more of a peach. And just adding my favorite item from the Paranormal Stuff Pack, this macrame like wall hanging item. I love it so much. It's perfect. Just getting a little picture over there. And then this like fake fireplace. I think it works. It just doesn't have a fire in it. But I scaled down these base game brick fences and put them inside of it, because usually in my experience, like fireplaces that don't work are usually bricked up. And then I scaled up this Hey Harry plant that we got, or like vase and flowers that we got, and just getting some clutter up on top. That bowl specifically from Eco Lifestyle is like what I imagine, like when I say like if we could put things in like bowls and stuff and like entryways and side tables, because like it would be really cool if things could snap inside of it and like didn't look weird if like when you raise things inside of it, because then sometimes it floats, in my experience at least. And I don't use that red shelf that I know a lot of people use, only because literally every time I've tried to use it, it doesn't work for me. I have no idea why. I don't know if it's me or if I'm doing something wrong, but like I've never been able to really get it to work properly. So I just usually try to stay away from it, but at some point I probably am going to try to get it and like retry it. Just the bathroom, getting some stuff in here, some paintings, some pictures, that kind of thing. And then we're moving on into the office. And for this space, I was thinking that like in her free time, or the Sims free time, they could paint, and like they love to paint, and they're like just like super artsy and stuff. And like I mentioned earlier, I think that they are the ones that make the like knitted merch items, or like the little turtles and stuff. And so I just added those, and I just added like little ones like new ones that she was making or something, and then just some like clutter for like like taxes and like files and receipts and that kind of thing, because that feels pretty realistic to me. And then I just shift this like light around on the desk, and then I get these little like tables, these little like side tables, and then like a painting mat. And then we're on to the outside, just some trash cans, mailbox, you know, usual outside things. I do add a sign. There's already one, but I delete that one. There's a sign. I think this is like a private property sign or something, you know, just so like Sims don't like randomly walk up. But we are coming close to the end of the build, and if you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want. And I hope you enjoy the screenshots. Bye.